So, the agent of Benni McCarthy, which is Rob Moore, has come out and said that Kaizer Chiefs are not ready for Benni McCarthy. And he's right. And we're going to talk about why this is the case. And we're going to talk about why he said this is the case, right? But also, someone is going to say, Mpilo, cut this nonsense, man. We've talked about this. The only coaches we want are either Nazreddin Nabi or Pitso Msimane. To which I will say, okay, Khosi, I respect your wishes. And I understand where you're coming from. You want Nabi because of what he's doing over there in North Africa. You want Pitso because he's a proven coach and we know his track record, right? But at the same time, we've also established Kaizer Chiefs failed to bring in Nabi last season because of the fact that they were not willing to give him his technical team, right? So going back to him might be tricky because his demands might just be higher at this point because he's basically gone to another team and has basically increased his stock, right? So he's probably now more expensive. Number two, you have Pitso Msimane, who's also going to ask to bring his own people, which also makes it a bit tricky. Now then the question is, who is the next option? We talked about Pesero Low in Nigeria, but there are doubts there as well because there's been only talks about Chiefs made contact with him. But any follow-up? Nada. So then that means we are left with other coaches because there are a lot of other coaches there. But Benni McCarthy is also a possibility. Now the question is, why are we even bringing up Benni McCarthy? Doesn't the man have a job? Well, he does have a job, but it's not guaranteed because it doesn't depend on him now, does it? Because right now he's part of the technical team of Erik ten Hag over there by Man United, who just drew against Brentford, which has once again increased the doubts that the current management of Manchester United has on Erik ten Hag. And there's been talks that Erik ten Hag might be replaced by the current England coach, which is Gareth Southgate. So if Southgate goes to United or any other coach goes to United, that means Erik ten Hag and everyone in his technical team is fired, most likely. That's usually what happens. So that means it leaves Benni McCarthy free as well. And that means Chiefs can also approach Benni McCarthy. Then the question is, why are we even saying Benni McCarthy can coach Kaizer Chiefs? Well, one of the things that we've talked about when we've talked about coaches coming to Kaizer Chiefs is they must have the right personality and be able to straighten the egos at Kaizer Chiefs. Benni McCarthy is a big coach and has been a big player. He's won a Champions League. I mean, the Champions League, not just the African one, but the UEFA Champions League. So that tells you, Guti, he's a very, very, very high-profile player. Bafana's top goal scorer to this day. So he knows this. He has proven himself by winning with the Cape Town City team, saving AmaZulu from relegation and bringing them back to playing, not even bringing them back, but taking them all the way to playing in African competition, which is something in my lifetime that I'd never experienced. It was the first time that I saw AmaZulu play in the Champions League. So now, that being the situation, that means he does bring on that thing of being a candidate of coaching Kaizer Chiefs. But on top of that, there is also that element of Benni McCarthy right now is currently a striker coach at Manchester United. And the moment he joined United, it just coincided with the time that Marcus Rashford started scoring goals for United after a season where he had not been scoring goals. And you look at him right now and you see Uguti, Rashford even spoke highly of Benni McCarthy, and it's clear that the strikers are happy. I mean, Abo Rasmus Højlund are scoring goals as well for Manchester United, which means he's doing something properly over there. And I know good people are going to say, but sometimes they don't score. Yeah, but we know Uguti is capable of scoring goals, and we know Uguti, if we get him, given Uguti our team is such cheapskates and they are not willing to hire a striker coach since, or they've not been willing to hire a striker coach since Sean Bartlett, bringing Benni McCarthy in would also make them feel like, okay, we have a striker coach and a coach at the same time. Win-win. We get 2 in 1. So that's kind of good, money saver for them. The thing though, which brings us to why then does his agent say and think that he's not fit, or Kaizer Chiefs are not fit to receive a coach like Benni McCarthy? Because it's not like Benni McCarthy is not ready for Kaizer Chiefs, but it's more like Kaizer Chiefs are not ready for Benni McCarthy. And someone might take this as an arrogant statement, but I don't think it is. It's just a factual statement. Because what he cites, Mike McCarthy, he says that the reason why he's saying this is not because Chiefs are too small for Benni, but he's saying that the reason why Chiefs are not ready for a coach like Benni McCarthy is because of the fact that McCarthy in a personality specifically is a coach who needs to be left alone. And if Bengakola Bengzozeng ete an adjective there, he just wants to be left alone. If you don't leave him alone, he's not gonna do his job properly. And we look at the coaches that we have had in the past 18 months. Have they been left alone? Even the coaches that have coached Chiefs before, have they been left alone? The answer is a resounding no. Because I will just make an example, another one, with Atazwan, who started playing good football, and it was clear that he was starting well even against Abu Royal AM, the game that he lost, but he started well, but then in management were intervening, like, we are signing Upimenyimana for you. After Zwane had said, I don't want Upimenyimana, but they signed Upimenyimana Ngenkani, and then Upimenyimana ended playing for the Chiefs, but the coach was clear that he didn't want Upimenyimana. So now the question is, did they not intervene? They obviously did intervene. And on top of that, they did not just add Upimenyimana for squad depth, but he was the main striker, which means Zwane did not actually have a say in that, in whether or not Upimenyimana is signed. Because if his agent says that he was called just after the Sundowns game, no Zwane. When did they speak to Zwane to say, hey, we need to get a proper striker because the current strikers are not doing well? It's clear that the management made a decision, an executive decision. They signed a striker, and then there was it. And also, you also see right now, the players that were signed for Unsegi were signed from the request by Uzwane or the technical team before. Unsegi, all the players that he got were players that were already coming, and people I know will say, but Unsegi was part of the technical team, yeah, but the main coach was Atazwane. So if you think about it, McCarthy Vele, even his last fallout with Amazulu, it was all about the management was starting to kind of intervene or say things that are unrealistic. You say you want to be challenging Sundowns for the league, but you're not signing the players to compete with Sundowns. You are not at the level of Sundowns. You don't have certain things that Sundowns has, like you can talk about technical team-wise. So you look at that and you say, Rob Moore is actually giving the Chiefs a fair warning. Listen, you cannot bring in this person. And as an agent of Benni McCarthy, clear Uguti, he would surely be looking for jobs for him, but instead he's saying no, he wants jobs, but not this job, because this job will frustrate him. And we as fans will also get frustrated because we'll go, is the coach being left alone to do his job? And clearly, if you look at what is happening in Chiefs, it's clear that he will not be left alone. And I genuinely think that Benni McCarthy would be a good coach for the Chiefs, but not if we're still managing the team the way that they are right now. So it's going to stay the same thing that I've been saying. If you don't fix the management, then it doesn't matter. Sometimes at some point, it won't matter even what coach you bring in, because everything just funnels down. Poor management leads to poor decision making, and once you make poor decisions, those decisions are most likely going to affect the coach, and then the players will be affected, and everything is just going to go south. So I do think that it becomes really problematic for you to just make decisions knowing very well that the team is not properly run.
Shout out to Mongs, Antipas, and Pabonk.
You can also get a special shout out from your boy. All you need to do is become a member of this channel. If you become a member of this channel, you get benefits like special shout outs, stickers next to your name so that people see that you are a paying member of this channel, and also you get priority reply to your comments. How much does it cost to be a member? Well, it's easy. It's 20 rands, 20 randach, like bread, for buying bread. So become a member. Just click on the link that is on the description below, or on the first comment that is pinned on the comment section, or there's also a button down here that says join. Click that button if you see it. If you don't see the button, click the link that says join, become a member by clicking this link. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Remember, because I'll pay you more.